Good morning, friends of all ages. Today, I want to talk together about a very special word, and that word is brave. Can you take a few moments to think about everything you know about the word brave? Here are some things that you might know about brave. It has 5 letters starting with B. B-R-A-V-E. Those 5 letters make one syllable, which means it only takes one sound to say it out loud. Brave. Lots of words rhyme with brave, like cave, save, pave. Can you think of any more? Brave is an English word, but you could say it in other languages. Here are all the languages I know. In French, it's courageux. In Spanish, it's esforzado. In Italian, it's strenuo. In Irish, it's croga. Do you know how to say brave in any other languages? Brave is an adjective, which means it's a type of word we use to describe people, places, or things. It's a feelings word and a very special kind of feelings word because it also makes us think of certain actions. Simpler feelings words, like sad, mad, and glad, might not make us think about actions as much. Brave is the title of an animated movie about a girl who lives in Scotland, and it's also the title of a song which we sing in church sometimes. Some words which mean almost the same thing as brave are bold, courageous, and valiant. Brave also has some opposite words, like meek, timid, or even cowardly. Brave can be a compliment, which means it's a word people might use when they're trying to make us feel good. Brave is an extra complicated word because every once in a while, the people in our country change what we think it really means. Once upon a time, brave meant that you didn't feel afraid. Then after a while, people started to think that brave means you might feel afraid, but you make a choice to do what you think is right anyway. Here are some people who've been brave in that way. Martin Luther King Jr. probably felt afraid when he heard how angry people were when he talked about racism. He made the choice to keep giving speeches and talking about racism anyway. Harvey Milk probably felt afraid when he told everyone he was gay while running for office in San Francisco. Back in those times, gay people either kept their identity a secret or risked getting hurt. But Harvey wanted his friends and loved ones to be free to be themselves, so he chose to tell everyone he was gay anyway. Greta Thunberg felt afraid when she started her climate protest in Sweden. Greta is autistic, and it's scary for her to speak up and be around a lot of other people, especially when so many grown-ups disagree with her message. She is still making the choice to speak about climate change because she cares about the earth and about kids in the future. I bet you're brave too. Here are some things that any person might have to do when they're being brave. When you realize that you make a mistake, it could be scary to admit it, but you know it's the right thing to do. When you see someone who's being treated unfairly, it could be very scary to speak up for them, but you could really help them if you do. When you see a spider inside the house, you might be afraid and want to squish it, but when you decide to take the spider outside or get someone to help you do that, you're showing how to be kind. When you need to go get a shot or go to the dentist, you might feel afraid. But when you make a choice to take care of your body, you're doing the important work of being kind to yourself. When have you felt the most brave? Have you ever had someone telling you that you're being brave, but you weren't sure? How did that feel? Lately, some people have been changing how they talk about the word brave again. Some people are using brave to mean that a person does something that is scary, difficult, or unhealthy because other people have told them that they should. Brave becomes a very complicated word if we use it to mean doing certain actions when we are not given a choice. Have you ever had to face an action that was scary or difficult because someone told you to be brave? This might look like going on stage for a performance before you were ready, or giving a speech in front of a class, even though you were scared, because otherwise you would get a bad grade. For grown-ups, it might look like driving a car when you're very, very tired because your boss told you to, or having a baby you weren't ready to have, or going back to a dangerous country because you're not allowed to move to another one. Can you think of a time when someone told you to be brave? How did it feel to be asked that? How was it the same or different from feeling brave all on your own? This week, try talking to your family and friends about what you think the word brave